Om Shanti. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great, complete purity. Bap Dada now wants to see the sparkling jewel of complete purity on the forehead of each of you children. He wants to see your eyes constantly sparkling with spirituality, to hear sweet and invaluable words, and to see contentment and humility in your actions.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 19. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Today's topic, complete purity. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Mentally proving why I am right, power to break. Sweet, sweet child, may you pass with honors by making your foundation strong, by applying a full stop within a second.
Shanti. We say that God doesn't have any desires, right? But still, Baba has desire to see us in a certain way. And I think it's very good that we are able to hear that. Then we are able to keep the aim in our life. It becomes our homework that we have to do what Baba likes us to do. And there is one thing is becoming that, another is doing accordingly. So we should start with becoming and then also doing, which is both important. So today Baba giving us homework of complete purity. We all understand what it is, but every morning when we listen to a Vyakti signal and the way Baba explains that aspect is really so helpful. And if we pay attention and keep that in mind, our quality of efforts can definitely be better. We can improve, we can transform ourselves, we can progress also. So I like this aspect. I think when you will listen, you will also feel very enlightened and inspired to do what Baba wants us to do. Because everyone comes and say, what effort these days we should make. Or some say, what Baba wants from us. So when Baba is telling us what to do, how to do it, it's really, really very, very helpful to us. So we listen to Baba, and Baba says that complete purity. So our definitions are according to our understanding, or it could be according to our experiences. So Bab Dada now wants to see a sparkling jewel of complete purity. Baba wants to see sparkle of complete purity on the forehead of each one of you. I think there is a tradition in India. There are many, many people who will look at your forehead and they look at how sparkling, clean and clear it is. And they tell you fortune based on your forehead. I remember when I was young, we were traveling with the family, and someone was sitting in front and start telling each one of us what our forehead is telling. Because a lot of, you know, whatever the predictions or the future they tell, generally looking at the lines of the hand. And they tell you this is your age, how long you will live, about your health through the hand, lines of hand. But now there are many people. So Baba is also saying sparkle on the forehead. So that means that the soul, which is if the jewel of contentment or jewel of whatever other qualities, will be visible through the sparkle of the forehead. It's so beautiful. Right? Baba says that so sparkle on the forehead of you children. He wants to see your eyes also constantly sparkling with spirituality. Sparkle on the forehead and then sparkle in the eyes. So Baba says to also then third thing is to hear the sweet words and invaluable words. Sweet words, invaluable words, not only sweet, but very worthwhile. And that is the words which are valuable. And contentment and purity in your face. So Baba is talking about sparkle of purity, sparkle forehead. No, because generally they say that face is the index of mind. Even if people try to hide what is in their mind, but their eyes can tell you, their forehead can tell you. No, you start seeing the worry, concerns on the forehead. I meet some people and I could just feel their tension, their whatever is in their heart, it shows very clearly on the face. But Baba wants us to do service through our face, not only words, through our eyes. And he wants to see sparkle of spirituality, and the words should be very sweet and valuable. So Baba is telling us these 4 or 5 things, this type of attention, Baba says, will create what Baba is calling as complete purity. I think it really becomes so clear what we have to do. And then what Baba wants us to be, we become that, and then we are able to serve also accordingly. So I think each one of you write down that point and do your homework, try to practice it and create that what Baba wants, that sparkle of purity will be very, very visible on your face, on your eyes, and also through your words. So it's such a beautiful explanation of creating humility and also sweetness in our life. Become the jewel of contentment and let us have that sparkle on your face, our face, so that Baba can give us his lovely drishti. And that's what we have to experience. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Avyakti Parivar. Hope everyone is doing well. We are all waiting for Didi's return to New York, and she will again be speaking to us tomorrow, but she will be speaking to us from New York. Tomorrow's Avyakti signal is a very beautiful one because it is one in which Baba is asking us to look at ourselves. And he's telling us what is it he wants us to look at, because this is what he wants to see in us. Now, those of you who heard Baba's Murli today, which is a very unusual Murli, it was a Murli full of Gyan. And he was explaining things in such a beautiful way. And one of the things he talked about that I thought was unusual was the soul. The soul would say to the body, "This is my body." You remember that point? And the body would say to the soul, "You are my soul." So it seems as though that when the soul enters the body comes alive, that we know. But there's a rapport between these two entities, the human and the being. And just as how the soul communicates to its body and telling the body what it should do and shouldn't do, in the same way, the body communicates with the soul. And the body tells the soul, I want you to do this. And then the soul does exactly what the body wants it to do. I don't want you to get for Amrit Vela because I want to lie in bed. And then the soul would do what the body wants. So this rapport, I thought, was very, very beautiful that Baba was talking about this morning. So these four things that he wants to see in us are quite interesting things. But he wants us to look at ourselves. So, how many of you look at yourself in the mirror every morning consciously? We all brush our teeth and we may be looking at ourselves in the mirror as we're brushing the teeth, but we're not consciously looking at ourselves, are we? And so he wants us to have complete purity on the forehead. So how am I going to see if I have complete purity on my forehead? Other people will see my forehead, right? Every day they're looking at my forehead. But how can I see if I have complete purity on my forehead? How will I be able to do that? What do you think? How will you be able to do that? So we all practice soul consciousness, right? We all have to say, I am a soul. Consider yourself to be a soul. I am seated in the center of my forehead. That is the seat of my soul. So it's not that I'm physically looking at myself in the center of the forehead, but I'm considering myself to be a soul, and I am centering myself here, which is the seat of the soul, and that is called seeing. It's not just I'm looking at myself in the mirror, but as soon as I consider myself to be a soul and I'm centering myself on the seat of the soul in the forehead of the body, I'm seeing myself because I am, as Didi said, I'm being. That is my state of being. So Baba says, when you're in that state of being, this is what is happening to you. This is what you are radiating. You are radiating from your forehead complete purity. Most of us haven't met Sakar Baba, but a lot of us have met Avyak Bapdada. So when we were in front of Avyak Bapdada, what was Bapdada looking at in us? He would look at us in the center of the forehead. What do you think he was seeing when he was looking at us as souls? Do you think he would have seen our bad side? Do you think he would have seen our ugly side? What do you think he would have seen? He would have seen, because that's how he sees, he would have seen our complete purity. And as he was speaking to us, he was connecting to that complete purity in the soul. So I get the feeling, the vibrations from Baba, and Baba will see me in such a way that he would make me feel what he was seeing in me before he said anything to me. And I always feel Baba saw the best in us. We are making efforts to return to our best selves. Some people call it the best self. Some people call it the authentic self. Some people call it the true self. Baba calls it the eternal and original self. So when he looks at us like that, that is our complete purity he's seeing. Now, each one of us have got a very different complete purity because every soul is unique. So a soul cannot compare its purity to another soul because every soul is unique in the way it experiences its purity and in the way it manifests that purity. So I think to know what Baba wants from me, if I were to go to Baba's room and I were to sit in front of Baba and I were to experience Baba is looking at me in the center of my forehead and Baba is looking at my complete state of purity. What am I feeling in that moment as Baba is looking at my complete state of purity? Now you may feel a few things. You may feel that your being begins to feel very clean, that your being is feeling it's those divine qualities that you share with Baba because the soul carries that likeness to God. Whatever is in God's soul is also in my soul, and I'm going to experience that from Him. So there will be that experience. Complete purity means a very clean state of being. Complete purity also means that Baba is providing a space for me to experience who I am without trying to pretend to be something that I'm not. So I can't pretend to be anything in front of Baba because he's seeing me for who I am. And who I am is very precious to him. Who I am in that moment is I'm very important to him. So that for me is complete purity in which I am at my most comfortable state of being when I'm looking at Baba and Baba is seeing me in my complete purity. So that's one. The second is eyes. Baba is saying that through our eyes, our eyes, our drishti, should be constantly sparkling with divinity. Now, Sister Mohini said something very beautiful that in some cultures, when people look at your forehead, they can tell your entire astrological chart. They could tell you things of your future. And those people are looking at you. So their eyes, their drishti, are focused on you, on your forehead. And then they're telling you things about your life that even though you may doubt at that time, you may be skeptical, you may not believe what they're saying, but somehow or the other, if they're good at astrology, those things will happen. So this sparkling eyes, this drishti, this spirituality in the drishti, Baba is also telling us that he is looking at us. He's looking at our fortune. He's looking at our future. He's not so much looking at our past because he told us to forget the past, but he's looking at us in the present. And in the present, he is seeing our future. And then he speaks to us based on our future, what will happen to us in our future, what service we will do, how we will glorify him, how we will glorify ourselves. And so Baba's Drishti is creating our present world of the confluence age, but also our future world. But what Baba's Drishti does for us is that he holds us in the safety of a space. So once I am in God's eye, I'm the apple of my Father's eyes. Once I'm that apple of my Father's eyes, I feel safe. I feel secure. I feel protected. I don't feel any influences of the world outside or of other people can touch me. So there is this safety. Now, Baba does that for me. What does Baba want me to do for others? What is the drishti he wants me to have of others? Now, because we're human beings, I suppose we'll say we can't have that kind of drishti like Baba has for me. But what he's saying, become it. So this drishti is a process of becoming. And can I become a bestower gradually, moment by moment, drop by drop, little by little, by looking for something that would elevate the other? And it's called the eye of appreciation. If I have spiritual sparkle is when I look at someone or I look at something, can I see something that I appreciate? And when I see something that I appreciate in the other, the sparkle from my drishti will touch the sparkle of hope in them. And so it's a very dynamic thing, this sparkle of drishti. And that is, I can become that. I can train my eyes. I can train my third eye to see that which would uplift, which would elevate, which would bring hope. And then the third is Baba is saying, hear sweet and invaluable words. And Didi said something very important. Many of us don't know how to listen. We think we listen, but we don't listen. And so sweet and invaluable words just cannot be created based on, oh, I'm a good Brahmin. I need to speak words that are sweet and words that are invaluable, which means they carry a worth with them. And so I will just repeat the points from Baba's Murli. But sweet and invaluable words come not just from the speaking, but it comes also from the tone in your voice. And so sweetness is a tone of voice. It is not a choice of words. And invaluable means whatever I'm saying is something that the person would remember as something that makes them feel worthy. And so this, when Sister Mohini said that listening patiently is very important. Because if I don't have the patience to listen to someone, I will not respond sweetly to them because I haven't heard them. And one thing is, I could hear what they say based on what's going on inside of me, but I haven't heard what they said and what they meant. And so listening patiently to someone is trying not to answer them as they're speaking to you. Try to become a detached observer to your own feelings and your own responses to what they're saying. And open up a space, like you become the microphone that they're speaking through so that they can hear themselves, what they're saying. So listening patiently to another is they don't want answers from you. They don't even want a response from you. All they want you to do is listen without judging them, without any conditions, without wanting anything from them. Just listen. And I think if we could do that when they ask us, well, what do you think about it? Do you have anything to say to me? Then those words will come out being sweet and invaluable. Because then Baba, in your inner silence, will touch you with what you have to say to them. And then finally, how can we be content and make our actions act with humility in our actions? And I'd leave you with one thing that really stayed with me from the Murli of April 11th. Well, it wasn't a Murli, it was from the Dadi's diaries. And one of the things that I think would make us very contented souls is if we see our minds like a temple. And what would you put in that temple of your mind? You would put the idols of divine virtues in your mind. So if you put those virtues as your idols in your mind, don't you think you'll be content? What brings contentment? Not the things that you physically have, because the more you have anything that's physical, it's the more you're going to be in pursuit of those things. But if you have a drop of something that is spiritual, a drop of love, you're going to experience that drop to be the ocean. You wouldn't experience a drop as just a drop. So this is why Baba says, if you have a drop of love for God, you become merged in the ocean of love. If you experience a drop of peace from Baba, you become merged in the home of peace. So these are all unlimited experiences we have. But we first of all have got to make that decision. If my mind is a temple, what are the idols I want to put into my mind? What are the virtues? And each one of those virtues will be connecting me to Baba, who is unlimited. Only when I feel that I have access to that which is unlimited will I have the capacity to be humble. Humility is connected to that which is unlimited. Humility cannot be connected to anything that's limited, because once there are limitations to anything I have, I will want more. And once I want more, the greed and the ego subtly would step in. But if I feel I have everything, I'm connected to the unlimited, then there's that humility. And I think ultimately when Baba says he's the Lord of the innocent, that is the ultimate praise of God being humble. And so look at your portrait, look at yourself, look at these four things that Baba wants us to look at, and paint your spiritual portrait. Om Shanti. And hello, Abhyakti Parivar in Shantivan in Saraswati Bhavan. Are you missing, Didi? It's nice to see all of you. And where are the flowers? Where are your flowers? Nobody brought flowers today? Oh, beautiful. What is it? Is it jasmine? Oh, I can't hear you. I'm here. I'm lip reading you, but I can't hear you. I don't know why. We still can't hear you. So the flowers are beautiful. Okay. Om Shanti, everyone. Good night.